If I understand the question, I think we're going to build on an area that we certainly saw an awakening to, and that was how much the network systems that we're putting in homes now and in the multiple dwelling residences, how strong those networks have to be, because a lot of people aren't going to go back to the office. They're able to be very efficient working from home, and so they're going to have multiple Zooms going on in their homes, and network strength, which is something we has as a revenue source in our company. I do. I think, again, for that same reason, we're doing much more extensive network systems in homes, and it's something we didn't do as much before the pandemic. We were doing it, but not to the levels.
So, like a lot of companies, especially HTSA vendors, we're lucky, right? We have clients in a certain echelon that obviously are all affected by the pandemic, but in some ways, monetarily, they still did really well. Our headquarters in Aspen, really the most affected was in-person visits. Being able to sit in front of a client, a builder, an architect, and having open conversations, face to face, without a mask, not over a Zoom call, and so on. So we've generally seen a really high increase in the excitement to just be in person. So we've got a great showroom in Aspen. So we've brought about 30 builder architect client groups in, even just over the last 30 days, of people that just want to get out and touch things and play with things and push buttons and interface, face to face. So as we're coming out of the pandemic, we have markets in multiple states and multiple countries. Generally, that's been the biggest change, is face to face interaction.
Okay, and Michael, from your perspective.
I guess I would say, business is good. We're seeing a lot of excitement about people upgrading their existing homes. We're seeing a lot of new builds in our market as well, where people want to take advantage of the latest technology, and certainly it's been exciting to be part of that. And I think everyone's glad to be kind of out of masks and back in person.
I think the one thing with the pandemic is, and even economic downturns historically, it's made a lot of us as dealers think outwardly and think about where does sales and margin and products come from, right? And I think the big thing over the last year is we've seen new introductions of things like lighting fixtures, landscape lighting, backup battery power systems, things that are really big high ticket items with really big margin. So what we've really focused on is educating ourselves on all those topics, educating our staff, having our staff communicate that there are other scopes and items that we deal with. I feel like the more we diversify the items that we sell, it generally protects us from if other industries attack us, right? If the lighting guys all of a sudden want to sell fixtures or lighting control and it takes a big portion of our business or our sales away, we have something else we can focus on. So we've generally pushed training, we've generally pushed diversifying our offerings, and making sure that we are the subject matter experts. So even if it's a product that we don't want to sell or we don't necessarily agree with, we educate ourselves on that. So builders, architects, designers can come into the showroom and learn about a product that we potentially say, it exists, don't worry about it, let's talk about it in 5 years, or let's come back to it. But I think at that point, if you don't tie yourself to something exactly specific, a brand, a type of business, a type of product, or even in our case, a market, you can kind of see the things that are coming in specific markets, juggle employees, juggle labor, juggle the product offerings, purchase in advance, do a lot of those things that will help you get through that.
Your thoughts, Michael?
So I think a lot of the momentum is coming from the fact that builders and homeowners are asking us to take a look at scope that historically has not been included in our sort of contracts. And as the technology progresses, more and more scope becomes amenable to having the integrator take care of it and manage it and install it. And I think that's driving the momentum, and I expect that to continue.